SampleKings.com, and we've got a brand new series we just started, and it's called Pro Tools 10. It's on sale now. You get 5 DVDs, over 7.5 hours worth of lessons. Now here's a video preview. So next I want to talk about the Pro Tools preferences and setup. So here we have setup and we have preferences. You can also go there by going to Pro Tools here in the menu and go to preferences right here. Same box will open up. And this is our preference window. And we can have preferences for display, operation, editing, mixing, processing, MIDI, and synchronization. I want to go over some of the basics though here. Right now we're in display, and I want to make sure that when you are working in Pro Tools and you're maybe just starting out, you can use the tip right here. This is the Pro Tips. And Pro Tools tips are right here. And what happens here, you can move the mouse over a particular, say a fader or something, and it gives you a little tip about what this function does to help you get around the window. And it gives you details as well. Now below that, I want you to understand here in the warnings and dialogue section here about show quick start dialog when Pro Tools starts. Now earlier we did this when we started opening up our first session in Pro Tools. We had that quick start dialog box. Well, this makes sure it shows at start. Now the next one I want to talk about here is operation. And here in operation I want to talk about the audio backup. Now when you're doing a session, you got to realize you're on a computer made by humans, so it's going to make a mistake. It's going to freeze maybe one time. You may be in a session all of a sudden and someone kicks a cable, I don't know, power goes down, whatever, or you might make a mistake in one and you're not too sure what happened, and all of a sudden the track's erased. Okay, we need to have a backup system. We need to back up while we're working. And this is great, because this way, if you have a problem, you can go do a backup. And so we have a couple of options here. We can keep the 10 most recent backups, and we can back up every 5 minutes. In my case, I prefer to back up every 2 minutes. That way, every 2 minutes in the background, Pro Tools is going to save that session. It's going to save what happened. It's going to save this, save that every 2 minutes. It's only going to keep the 10 most recent ones. And this way, if you got a problem, you can always go back to the backup. And this is important to understand. Make sure you set up your auto backup. Now, one more thing I want to show you here in the preferences is this level of undo. So let's say you go back, I want to do it over, that was bad, I don't like that, I want to do that. So look, you want to get rid of it. You want to make sure you have enough undo levels. Now you got to be aware of that. This is going to eat into your RAM. That's right. You're going to use more of these undos, and then you're going to have less memory set up there for your plugins and stuff. So my thing is, you don't have that much RAM, is to make sure you have enough backups set up. Because that way, let's say for example, I've got this 2 minutes, it's backing up every 2 minutes. Well, I'm not going to be able to get in 32 different moves in 2 minutes, right? So if you got that set up, you can have less undo levels, and you can set up to here. In my case, I can do 32. It's got a pretty much powerful system, but I agree with that, so I can do, let's say, 16 if I want, because I'm not going to do 16 moves in 2 minutes, and every 2 minutes, my system will back up. While you're here in the preference window, I suggest you look over some of the options you have available to you, particularly in editing, and also here in mixing. You'll see we have these controllers here, and we also have automation setups set up here. Processing too as well. You can see the length in seconds, and we see importing of files. It's important to import maybe some sort of audio files. I want to make sure what kind of files I'm importing with the rec files. You can set that up too as well. We have the elastic audio for stretching out samples, which we'll cover, and we have a MIDI preferences too. So it's really cool. It helps you to sort of compensate for things, or to make sure everything's going to work properly. You can go back to preferences and have preferences for specific setups.